Look at that majestic man. It's Anton Rayne, and I'm SuperPaulGames. Welcome back to the adventures of Suzerain. I hate to show it, but we are in debt. I went in debt last time so we could pass the Workers' Relief Act. Oh, I don't want to read this regional investment decision. It's probably going to be something I want to do, but we don't have the money for. Gus Major and Simon Hole have prepared an extensive regional investment package to revitalize one of the top 3 economically fragile regions by boosting the municipality budgets, providing large sums of business grants, and giving cheap loans to companies with liquidity problems. The proposal can be implemented in any one of the following regions: Bergia, which would help us with the Bloods; Lauren, I don't know where the fuck that is; England, which would help us with the poor farmers in the north. But it would cost us 2 government budget. We're not doing it. If it was 1 government budget, I might break. I might say, oh, yes, we're going to do it. But 2, that's just too many. I'm amazed there's no news about this. Shouldn't there be a news article? President's a skinflint. He's a jerk-off. I don't know. We don't have the money. It was early evening, still light out, with just a faint nip in the air. Oh, nipply air. Frank was at a friend's, Indiana was at an art class. Oh, my little nerdy girl. Monica and I decided to go for a walk before dinner. That sounds nice and romantic. Our favorite place for a stroll was the nearby Capitol Park, the largest green space in all of Holsword. Before the children were born, we had spent many an evening engaged in deep conversation along the riverside promenade. Another favored path wound through the woods behind the presidential housing complex to a private pond where the children could swim in summer. I was told that Sol himself had it built. The benefits of being El Presidente. Monica met me by the door, and we put on our coats and hats. I was going to suggest we walk towards Sol Square, but the guards told me it's been closed for yet another protest. Yeah, there's a lot of those going around. I wonder who they're protesting this time. Probably not me. I think everybody loves me. I don't know if I like any of these answers. I could say, the young swords are taking it too far. Must be those damn communist kids again. I kind of like that one. Common thugs. I will make sure they're punished. I guess I'll go with number 1. What does it matter? They're 2 sides of the same coin. The Anton I knew in university never would have said that. Are you kidding, bitch? Was it when Alfonso ran or whatever, I stayed neutral because I was like, I don't like any of these fuckers? No, before that, when the 2 sides clashed. I've always been independent. Funny how becoming president changes one perspective, I guess. Maybe you never listened to me. In any case, where shall we go? I'm not sure Capitol Park is a wise idea in this climate either. Hey, didn't you hear about how good I did with that angry mob that I gave a speech to before? Oh my god. This is going to be the hubris of President Anton Rayne. I should say it's not worth the security risk. I'm not going to say that. Nonsense, honey. We have our guards. There's nothing to be afraid of. Let's go to Capitol Park, where there could be a violent protest or riot. All right, then. Let's go before the children get home. Just, if one of us dies, make sure it's me, because I don't want Frank on my ass for the rest of my life. I informed the guards about our route, and we left the house. The guards followed us with a black Kadea as we exited the gates. Walking briskly, we reached Capitol Park in minutes. As we entered the park, Monica broke the silence. Whoa, honey, what have you been eating? So, how was your day? You know what? I'm going to take a chance that she's actually a decent person. I think she is. And I'm going to tell her. It was paperwork, it was endless meetings, the usual nightmare. I don't know. I imagine some might find that stimulating. Then why don't you become El Presidente? You can deal with Sierra all day. Ugh. What about your day? Oh, it was fine. I caught up on some reading while the children were at school. As we reached the river, we saw Ionis Krona, the former Minister of Justice, walking in the opposite direction. I remembered that Nia Morgna used to be his vice minister. He gave us a quick nod of acknowledgement. Ionis had once fought hard and strong against Sol's judiciary reforms. But after years of the government blocking his every move, he gave up on his ideals and became a part of the administration. What did our ideals really mean if they could be changed so easily? What about the people we idolized? Honey, when you put people on pedestals, they fall off. Don't idolize anyone, unless it's Billy Idol. Evelyn came around for tea. She says hi. That's Peter's wife, if I remember correctly. She was feeling rather low, though. Apparently, she and Peter had a bit of a disagreement. Oh, I don't want to hear about that. I don't care. I could ask, what is she nagging him about this time? Oh, no. Do I walk in silence? Or, oh, damn it, woman. You've intrigued me. Ooh, Peter's in the doghouse again? How'd it happen? Dish the dish. Apparently, Peter had too much whiskey, and as usual, and he didn't behave when Evelyn's father was over for dinner yesterday. Peter, what do you think of this? Oh, I should not have asked. Oh, shit, now I'm in the crosshairs. She's gonna be mad. I could say I'm gonna have a talk with him. I could say it's a rough patch. To be honest, I don't care. It's his marriage. That's their business. As long as nobody's cheating on the other one or lying to the other one, I don't know. I don't care. Maybe you should. I knew I was going to get in trouble. I knew I couldn't have an opinion. Maybe you should take it up with Peter. Monica, if this busts your balls so much. Maybe you should, though. He's your vice president, after all. And they're our closest friends? Oh my god, I'm on closest friends guard duty? Jeez. I could say being married to a shrew like her would make anyone turn to the bottle, but I like Evelyn. The little bit we've talked with her, she hasn't seemed like a shrew. She seems super nice. Aren't you glad you and I don't have these kinds of quarrels, Monica? Now I pray to the good Lord up above, please don't let Monica be mad at me about anything right now. Because if it is, or if she is, this is when she's going to unload the cannons. She'll be like, nothing's a big deal, and then boom. Monica didn't say anything. I told you. How am I single? How am I single when I know this shit? It's because I got bad taste, is why. I like trouble. Trouble is fun. And then you're crying at the end of it because you got in a dumb situation. Because I'm dumb. We kept walking. I can't afford therapy. You're my therapy. Fix me. Evelyn hasn't been the same since what happened to her at the Holstered Post last year. You remember how she got fired for supporting Alfonso? Peter tried everything to get her job back, but it didn't work. Ewald Alfonso's a douchebag. What do I care? Oh no. I was looking forward to this talk. I wanted to have time with my wife. It's just become a landmine of horse shit. Why can't we talk about cool things? Like football. Or how the kids are doing. Or not shit about Peter. You know what? I will say, a sad day for journalism and free speech in Sordland. I agree with you on that one. Now get off my ass. Maybe that's why I'm single there. That's my response. That's my response. That don't seem too healthy. But still, get off my ass. I completely agree. A sad day indeed. But enough about the Vecturns. I also spoke to Janice on the phone. Who the fuck is Janice? Who? You remember my friend from university. Oh yeah, I remember all your friends from university. That's the first thing I do when I come home at night. Figure out how to fix the country's economy. No, what are my wife's friends from university doing? You didn't have to be a dick about it. I think I did. No, I'm pretty sure you didn't. I'm pretty sure I did. Well, you remember her, right? I guess. My friend from university, We were in the Swordlish literature class together? If it's Swordlish literature, what else is it? You know, if it's not totally... That joke was never funny. I thought it was. That explains a lot. Oh, that hurts! That hurts! You know how to hurt me. A few years younger than me, red hair... I do like red hair. What? She's not prettier than you, baby. A few years younger than me, red hair, scar on her forehead? We had dinner with her and her husband once or twice. Neither the name nor the description rang a bell. I still don't remember her, but going... That is like me in real life. In real life, I will still be like, I don't know what you're talking about, but go ahead. I ain't gonna lie about that. I'm too honest for my own good. Anyway, she's been working as an executive assistant at the Violet Pictures film studio. Okay. She recently became pregnant and asked her boss for paid maternity leave. And guess what? She didn't get it. She was fired for it. Well, I'm not going to say so what. I'm not going to ask, can't her husband provide? That seems inappropriate. I do agree from a cost standpoint that puts the pressure on the film studio. That is true. But people have fucking babies. That's the reason we exist as a species. It is good for the species, by and large, to keep having babies. She asked for maternity leave, and she got fired. That's terrible. I know. I was beside myself. How could you stand beside yourself? Did you clone yourself? It's a phrase. I was beside myself when she told me. That's not all. They immediately replaced her with a younger, less experienced man. The son of an executive, no less. Well, okay, honey, that's how the film industry works. Look, I've done business with Hollywood in the past. I worked for Comedy Central doing stuff. I pitched Disney and other networks. That's the industry. It's incestuous as fuck. I could say it's utterly ridiculous. That's the industry. I could say, so they called the first lady for help. I'm not going to put my wife on the spot. She's trying to look out for her friends. I don't hold that against her. Nepotism, eh? They must have wanted him in there all along, and they saw that as an excuse to get rid of her. That doesn't justify what they did to her. I didn't say what it did. What? Why am I on trial? I didn't fire anyone. As that happens, another friend works for a television station that's hiring secretaries, so I connected the two of them. Oh, okay, good. That was awesome of you. You know what, though? All right, woman. You've got your... well, it's not deceitful. You've got your wily women ways into me. I see your point. It is not good for families in our country if they can lose their livelihoods at the drop of a hat because they're doing something like creating families, which is good for our society and good for our people. So that doesn't solve the deeper issue, though. Exactly. I knew you'd be on the same page. Women in this country are still seen as wives and mothers first, human beings second. They're harassed at work, underpaid, blocked from positions of powers, and they're the lucky ones. Oh, great, if they're the lucky ones, we don't have to worry about it. That is not funny. Oh, I just was making a little... That is not funny. I'm sorry. The fact that there are still places in this country where little girls like Deanna are denied the right to an education... What did you say about my daughter? What did they do to my daughter? I will kill them! Go on. These little girls and people like Janice need someone to speak on their behalf. A role model. A successful woman. Honey, I can't be your woman. We were right in front of one of the park benches that lined the river. Monica gestured to it and we sat down. Which brings me to my point. I knew it was the wily woman ways. You couldn't get right to the point. Oh, you. It's too bad I love you. I know that the mayor of Enrica, Curtin Lesty, he looks like he's dead even while he's alive, will be delivering a speech at the annual opening of the Ben 5 Festival. Great. My wish is to take his place and deliver his speech instead. The speech instead. Oh, no. No. This is where I want to slide off the bench, slide across the trail, slide across the grass, and slide into, what is it, the pond or whatever that they swam in, and just like I'm ooze just to try and get away. You want me to tell that guy he can't give his speech, the mayor of that region, so that you can give a speech instead? I feel like that's nepotism. If you want equality for women, we can't be pulling the strings to fuck over other people. Lesty was one of Sordland's most influential politicians. He had started his career in Benfi before rising to power in Ulrika. Benfi's current mayor had personally invited him to make the opening speech. I do not think this is my place to get involved. Right? If the other mayor invited this mayor to give a speech, this is not my place to say a damn thing. Replacing him with Monica would likely anger him. Probably not enough to cause a huge incident, but enough that he might use his influence over the conservatives to block me in the assembly. We do need support in the assembly for the Constitution. I want to base the speech on women's rights in Sordland, on the oppression and discrimination we face every day, on the basis of our sex alone. I want our voice to be heard, and this festival is the time to do it. I just need your blessing as my husband and the president of Sordland. You don't need my blessing. You don't need me to say I don't care or it's okay. You need me to pull strings to get him seated for you to talk. That's pure nepotism. You were just complaining about nepotism. Remember my time with the Sordish League of Women in university? You supported me then. I'm asking you to support me now. Monica's eyes were blazing with a fire I hadn't seen since we were students. She wanted this badly. But I had to be careful with my promises. I'm going to try and find a compromise. I'm pretty sure there's no real chance at a compromise because it's a game. But we're going to try anyway. Does it have to be at the festival? Why can't you make your speech another time when you're not bumping somebody who was already invited there? It has to be now. Thousands go to this festival, and millions watch the speeches at home. Sordland's women can't wait any longer. How am I going to get the Constitution passed? My problem with the Constitution is not the reformists. They're interested in our constitutional changes. It's not the PIFJA party. They want our constitutional changes. It's the conservatives. We don't want to anger them. And we're really fucking over people for something that's not any of our business with this speech. I can't say yes. I'd love to say yes. Let's find any other way to do this. This is going to hurt me with her. But no. You weren't invited. They already have somebody else that was specifically invited. We just complained about nepotism. We're hypocrites if we indulge ourselves in it. No. I don't understand. Isn't this something you care about as well? I could tell her I don't want her to step into politics. I don't have a problem if she wants to do that. I'm not going to say women have to wait, because that's not my policy. But I can't make Kurt and Lesty angry. Let's just be honest. Not only is it inappropriate of us to use nepotism to bump the speaker, we also need this man's support to change the Constitution. What little trouble this causes in the short term is nothing compared to the lasting positive change it'll bring, not just for women, but for all of Sordland. I think this is the hardest decision I've had to make in the game. I want to say yes to her so badly, but I can't do it with the hypocrisy, and we can't risk not getting the Constitution through. If we can get this Constitution through, it'll give more power to the people, and then you can change all that stuff. So no, I'm not gonna pull strings to bump him. Monica was silent for a while. Then she finally spoke. There was a chill in her voice. If that's truly how you feel, so be it. We walked back home, neither of us looking at each other. Well, that was fun. What a fun walk. I don't have to hang around with the dipshits at work for once, and then my wife's on my balls. Oh. I don't know, man. Let's see the news. Is there going to be news that man should have listened to wife and didn't? Nationwide peaceful protests. There are currently peaceful protests taking place throughout the country in response to recent events. However, if the situation is not effectively managed, there is a risk that these peaceful demonstrations may escalate into more violent protests. That is a step in an improvement, because before, it was violent protests. You can see we still have problems too here. We have a dispute with the governor of Bergia, the governor of our one of our districts. Organized crime, illegal immigration, and corruption are big problems. Hopefully the corruption division we formed with Nia will help with that. Why don't we finish things up by taking a quick look at the news? Golconist violence in Sordland. Several incidents of religious violence occurred in Dyer recently, with the perpetrators identified as Golcondists. That's that extreme religious sect that has been getting bloods to join them. And so the Whole Sword Post wants us to go after them. According to the Whole Sword Post, it is clear that the Bludish people have a history of violent tendencies, and the rise of extremist Golcondists only serves to reinforce that. This is a troubling trend in the region, especially after the Golcondist Revolution in the nearest Republic of Durdia, which surely has a hand in the spread of Golcondism in eastern Marcopa. The recent attacks in Sordland have targeted innocent civilians and caused a great deal of harm, despite its small scale. We must not allow this violence to take root in Bergia, and it is imperative that the government take swift and decisive action to address the situation. Yeah, we'll see what we're going to do. We'll see. The Economist. Rizia's investment, a lifeline for Gassam. Rizia's investment in Gassam brings some much-needed relief for the struggling Swordish giant. Alright, so the country that's south of us, I think 2 places south of Lesbia, isn't it? Rizia has invested in Gassam. Good! We don't have to spend our money to do it. Good, let them bail out that shithole of Gassam. This inflow of capital could stimulate Gassam's recovery and usher in a period of financial stability. Let's hope it does. Let's hope Gassam doesn't go tits up and make the Rizians mad that they invested in a shit show. So potentially that'll be good, maybe. Explosion in Dyer. 3 killed, 22 wounded. A bomb attack on a police station in Dyer has killed 3 officers and injured 22 others. The officials say no group has claimed responsibility for the attack. Why would you do that? If you commit terrorism, the point is to let people know you did it. So the police said they think the Bludish Freedom Front did it. Even the Bludish Freedom Front hasn't said that they've done it. The police are pointing their fingers there. The Workers' Party of Bludia, which is like the, we think, decent political party that represents the Bloods, unlike the BFF, which is the violent side, has condemned the incident, adding that the BFF does not reflect the views or the culture of the Bludish people. See, there are plenty of good Bloods. Arcasia, the American equivalent, has called on both sides to avoid violence, but stressed that Sordland has the right to defend itself against the attacks by the Bludish rebels. Debt nation. Sordland in a tough spot. Well, see, they're reporting that we are in debt. We're -1 in debt because we wanted to pass the Workers' Rights Bill. Our economic advisors have commented on the matter, saying that the current stance of the administration is hiding the extent of the debt. No, we're pretty open. We're -1. This, of course, brings up the question, is Sordland turning into a debt nation? I don't want to. That's why we didn't do that other investment thing we had a chance to, because that would have brought on a ton of debt. And geopolitik. Progress on the Iotake plan. Boost Nibia and surrounding nations. That's one that the CSP had. The Cortana Security Pact. How will Ada act to CSP spending money trying to booster those places? Smolak condemns Arcasian soldiers in Lesbia. Lesbia is just, if you remember the country south of us, I believe an Arcasian base has been put there. Which is okay with us if we can join NATO. Wizik President Victor Smolak on Thursday criticized the Lesbian government for bringing Arcasian soldiers close to the borders of Wayland. If I remember correctly, Wayland is the country directly to the west of us. We're trying to get closer to them with trade deals, but they are kind of close to the commies, I believe. Yep, and we can see the military bases were built in Lesbia with Ado troopers there, which I don't have a problem with. If it keeps the commies away. Chancellor denounces Arcasian base on Ravnos Island. Oh, and that's Valg's land. We can go over there a second. So it means the Chancellor of Valg's land, who's aligned with the commies, the CSP, they were complaining too about Ado creating a fort here. Oh, our diplomatic mission is getting closer and closer with our 2 neighbors. I don't know if we'll be able to befriend both of them. How is our Our highway construction's making progress. It's still about halfway there. There's widespread protests, but now they're peaceful protests. They're not violent protests. I think that's probably where we'll end this episode. Oh, this Dyer thing? I bet we're going to have to deal with the governor's situation there and the violence with the Bloods. That's a problem for another day. I will maybe see you then. Thanks for hanging out.